Now, Entertainment Tonight, the most watched entertainment news magazine in the world. Whitney Houston's final farewell. Exclusive photos inside the service, the stars sharing their grief.
Kevin Costner fighting back tears.
Off you go, Whitney, escorted by an army of angels to your heavenly Father.
The gravesite and inside the private family gathering. And tonight, from Oprah to Mariah to Kevin Costner, we have the exclusive photos from inside the church that reveal the emotion of this heartfelt goodbye, all the sadness, and all the moments of laughter of Whitney's final farewell.
Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye.
Whitney returns home today to the place where it all began. Off you go, Whitney. Off you go. Escorted by an army of angels to your heavenly Father.
Whitney was laid to rest Sunday. Her gravesite, now covered with flowers, is right near her father's at Fairview Cemetery. It is an emotional end, as her family and friends paid tribute at her nearly 4-hour funeral.
The Whitney I knew, despite her success and worldwide fame, still wondered, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Will they like me? It was the burden that made her great, and the part that caused her to stumble in the end.
Kevin Costner and his wife sat in the front row. Brandy.
Too young to go. Well, coming up in just a minute, more of Kevin Costner's moving tribute to Whitney and his memories of their time together making The Bodyguard.
Entertainment Tonight at Whitney's final farewell. Here again are Nancy O'Dell and Mark Steinis.
And we have more from Kevin Costner's very touching tribute. All of that is just minutes away.
Well, Mark, certainly the speeches and the musical performances were so extraordinary as everyone celebrated Whitney's life.
After Whitney's funeral, several attendees came here just a few blocks from the church at One Newark Center for what's called a repast, a small private gathering. Attendees included Oprah Winfrey, Kevin Costner, Mary J. Blige, and of course, members of Whitney's family.
Plus, what the people who were there are saying about Kevin Costner's emotional tribute.
That is coming up.
Entertainment Tonight at Whitney's final farewell. Here is Mark Steinis.
20 years ago, Whitney teamed up with Kevin Costner, and together they made movie history. Of course, the film was The Bodyguard, and Kevin drew upon his memories of their experience working together to deliver a touching tribute that will live on.
I urge us all inside and outside across the nation and around the world to dry our tears, suspend our sorrow, and perhaps our anger, just long enough to remember the sweet miracle of Whitney.
Costner spoke about how he and Whitney had similar upbringings. They were both brought up in the Baptist church.
I can see her in my own mind running around here as a skinny little girl, knowing everyone's business, knowing every inch of this place.
I think everybody was wondering, what is Kevin Costner going to say? And the way Kevin laid out the story of Whitney Houston having to audition for a bodyguard and him saying to her, you're going to be great, you're going to be great. It was a very, very, very touching moment.
Were you surprised to hear him say that Whitney actually didn't think she was good enough?
Yes. I mean, everybody was surprised.
You can dance, can't you?
That was a lot for the studio to accept, and to their credit, they did, but not without a screen test. That was the first time I saw the doubt creep into her that she would not be handed the part. She would have to be great. The day of the test came and I went into her trailer after the hair and makeup people were done. Whitney was scared. Arguably the biggest pop star in the world wasn't sure if she was good enough. She didn't think she looked right. There were 1,000 things to her that seemed wrong. I held her hand and told her that she looked beautiful. I told her that I would be with her every step of the way. I wanted to tell her that the game was rigged, that I didn't care how the test went. that she could fall down and start speaking in tongues. That somehow I would find a way to explain it as an extraordinary acting choice. I asked her to trust me, and she said she would. A half hour later, she went back in to do her screen test, and the studio fell in love with her.
And you're ready to die for me?
It's the job. I was your pretend bodyguard once, not so long ago. And now you're gone. Too soon, leaving us with memories of a little girl who stepped bravely in front of this church, in front of the ones that loved you first, in front of the ones that loved you best and loved you the longest.
After the service, I had a lot of people saying, boy, I admire Kevin Costner more than I ever have. He was very, very loving during his tribute.
If you watched that service, you know that that was such an emotional moment. And you recall Kevin mentioned that he played her bodyguard on the big screen. Well, the movie The Bodyguard is coming out on Blu-ray March 27th. It will mark the film's 20th anniversary.
I was your pretend bodyguard once, not so long ago. And now you're gone.
Now, Kevin Costner's memorable tribute.
So off you go, Whitney. Off you go, escorted by an army of angels to your heavenly Father. And when you sing before him, don't you worry. You'll be good enough.
After Kevin Costner spoke, he came down to the second row where his wife Christine was waiting. He was very emotional. He was also emotional as he exited the church, and you could see tears rolling down his face.
And